Thank you for joining us and viewing the Wetland Management video series. This video is the first in a series of 4 that will share with you the best ways to manage wetlands on your easement. The purpose of Wetland Reserve Easements is to restore, protect, and enhance wetlands on private and tribal lands to provide wildlife habitat and other wetland benefits.
These wetlands service over half of the waterfowl and songbirds of the United States, North America, are dependent upon wetlands. Over a third of the threatened and endangered species are dependent upon this kind of habitat, the wetlands and the associated hardwoods and vegetation on these landscapes.
While your conservation plan, the warranty easement deed, and the rules that come with the implementation of Wetland Reserve Easements will serve as the guiding principles in how you manage your wetlands, certain habitat management activities, depending on your objectives, can be tailored to achieve species-specific goals. Natural resources professionals are an excellent resource who can explain in detail how to match management activities to the goals set forth by Wetland Reserve Easements, as well as your own objectives and capabilities as a landowner. And while the NRCS strongly prefers landowners to actively manage easements, there is never any obligation to do so.
As we talk about managing shallow water impoundments, we always talk about managing those in an early successional state. The impoundment behind me has become dominated by woody vegetation and has not seen a mechanical disturbance in quite some time. By the time an impoundment gets in this condition, it's going to be a labor-intensive and money-intensive operation to bring that back to a condition to where it's dominated by herbaceous vegetation and grasses that are desirable to waterfowl.
When we came in, we bought this property with an existing easement and that had not been managed in several years, maybe probably 10 years. And so we went in there and contacted NRCS and said, look, here's what we want to do. Sharing on their resources and all that they have available to them helps me as just being an average, landowner to trying to be some type of a better wildlife producer.
An easement-specific wetland management plan based on the overall goals of the Wetland Reserve Program and the landowner's objectives was developed by the NRCS when the easement was originally established. In some situations, site-specific management activities may be modified based on landowner objectives and capabilities if they are compatible with WRE objectives and approved by NRCS. If you don't already have a copy or want to discuss the management plan for your easement, please contact your local NRCS office. While landowners are not obligated to manage wetlands on their easement, the full benefit of WRE objectives may not be met without landowners being actively involved. Typically, wetland habitat benefits greatly increase when landowners actively manage their easement.
Management of my WRP easement is essential to having quality wildlife on the property. Mother Nature is great. And I certainly don't claim to be better than her, but we can work with her and we can enhance the property through proper management.
Well, really, management is everything. I mean, management is the key. Our main thing would be more soil management with timely drawdowns in the spring. And what that kind of does is it sets me up for my really good early successional grass habitats. My barnyard grasses, sprangled tops, tooth cups, stuff like that.
Even simple management activities, such as using water control structures to manipulate water levels, can provide higher quality wildlife habitat than easements with no management. Research has shown that managed WRE wetlands are used by ducks 2.8 times more than unmanaged sites. A minimum level of management is necessary to ensure levees and water control structures are functioning properly. Basic management activities conducted by landowners may include keeping levees mowed to maintain access and reduce woody vegetation, cleaning out blocked water control structures, and controlling beaver activity. Habitat management provides even more benefits, as landowners may be allowed to manipulate water levels as well as vegetation that can impact critical habitat. Key management activities include vegetative and soil manipulation to encourage early successional plant development, noxious and invasive weed control, and seasonal drawdowns within shallow water impoundments. A limited amount of wildlife food plantings may be established if authorized by NRCS. How intensively a wetland is managed is an annual decision and may change from year to year. Management activities will vary based on a landowner's time and resources, along with the types of vegetation present in an impoundment. In some years, manipulating water levels will be sufficient, while in other years, additional management such as disking may be necessary to set back succession.
The goal of the active management is to set back succession and create different types of habitat. And with different types of habitat, there are different wildlife species that will prefer those habitats.
Examples of more intensive shallow water impoundment management include mowing, disking, mulching, applying herbicides, planting wildlife foods, prescribed burning, and rolling or buffaloing vegetation. Solely managing water levels is a less aggressive approach than manipulating vegetation, but these activities may also vary in intensity. For example, impoundments featuring more permanent water may require keeping control structures closed throughout the year, while other impoundments may need stop logs removed in spring and reinserted in the fall to encourage the desired native plant response.
For the goals and objectives of these conservation easements, we have to have management. So we will allow what's called a compatible use authorization to allow the landowner to do typical management and special case managements as needs arise to the lifespan of the easement. That's done through a request from the landowner. They can go to their local field office. It has to be in writing, and it has to give the specifics. The what, the when, the timing, just everything that they want to do.
The compatible use authorization is very important. It's actually the most essential document for the easement management activities, because that document gives you permission to implement those easement management activities.
Be sure to join us for part 2 of this video series, where we will discuss wetland types and habitat succession. For more information or assistance with wetland reserve easements, or to obtain compatible use authorizations, contact your local USDA Service Center. Wetland Reserve Management videos were developed by NRCS and the Tri-State Conservation Partnership.